and seconded it to reopen. I have the superintendent respond.
Thank you. We're recording now.
It'll be both of us. No. Okay. I'll let you start. You're welcome. If we're looking at the grant on page 3 and 4 under section D, and so I give you
Read the other microphone.
But if I heard the question right, Wendy, if I heard the question right, you wanted to know what was still available for us to be able to implement Common Core throughout the district?
Yes, there were 2 grants for reference that are no longer in the chart. I'll read it.
So Title 1A and Title 2A.
And then Title II, Part D, Technology Training Grants.
No.
Is listed on page 2.
Yeah, we just used the Title II Part A, and just to expand on that, some of that is for professional development. But we do have, just as part of our system, monthly, the superintendent instituted a monthly early release day. So we do what's called professional learning communities on that early release day. So that is time for professional development built in. In addition, the Title I schools, and we have also found funds for our the rest of our elementary schools, because we have to have like and equality for our elementary schools, because some are Title I, some are not. So monthly, at each grade level also meets, either for a morning or for an afternoon, so that they are working out issues on each grade level, or if they have another issue that's going on in the school. So the professional development is alive and well monthly at the secondary as well as the elementary, and then in the elementary, because we do have those Title I funds, we are able to do a twice a month professional development. In addition, during the summer, we work on curriculum, and we have some of our curriculum experts, as well as teacher teams who have been working throughout the year with me on curriculum. And we also need to enhance programs or edit programs that, in terms of aligning with Common Core, enhancing our programs, working on curriculum, working on assessment pieces, pulling those all together. And so then that's been a lengthy process as we've been working on the alignment.
That's why my concern was that it was actually a decrease. You're no longer getting the money from Title II, Part A?
We are still using the Title IIA, but Title IIA is very small, and so some of that goes toward the professional development, and some of it goes toward just supporting our staff in terms of literacy support.
It also has to support our parochial schools in town. So money goes to Christian Academy and St. Peter's, St. Francis for literacy support. It really is like a reading tutor, a reading teacher, and, if the schools want it. The other piece is we do have 3 built-in days of professional development, which allow, at least on the elementary level, for grade level teams across the district to get together to really take a look at as we're implementing the new math, well, not the new math, but the, Common Core mathematics this year. And because we set continuity across the district, the same units of study were implemented simultaneously so that teachers can come together and reflect how did it work, what pre-assessments did you use from the curriculum that was developed, post-assessments. So there's not only continuity on a grade level within a building, but also across the district. As far as administrators on the secondary level meet weekly, and not only on days when we have early dismissal, but just meet weekly for discussion of
PD that's going to occur at the next faculty meeting, because faculty meetings are really focused on professional development. And also, it's an opportunity to check in about children and concerns, and then just general operations. So they meet, weekly, and sometimes they'll even meet twice a week. We come together, elementary principals come together as a group once a month by themselves, and then once a month with assistant superintendent, and then I go and, stick my nose in whenever I want and can. Professional development, we've really tried to develop capacity from within, because we have some very talented teachers as far as technology goes, as with literacy, with numeracy, and so we're really using them as leaders. Part of the budget this year too is a part-time technology person strictly for curriculum and instruction to really meet the criteria, the requirements of Common Core, or Connecticut Core, whichever way you want to call it.
Will you be including paras in your training, paraprofessionals?
This year we've had to include paraprofessionals first in our safety and security training, which that was a half-day training. But yes, we do include paraprofessionals because the majority work with children who are receiving support services. So we are looking to provide greater training for them with the needs of the child or group of children that they're working with. There's a whole plan tied to our student services component. Does that help that piece? No, and really the past 2 years has focused on literacy and numeracy, and creating a curriculum that stems from the Common Core, and then trying to develop units of study with specific tasks set so that they are more open-ended, and children have greater involvement with the learning process, that the teachers are more of guides than leading them along. So it's really been a stretch for faculty, and they're coming along, and they're not kicking and screaming. They've responded pretty excited about it. So,
do you have an end date for it? Do you know when you'll be
through the whole
Common
curriculum?
Core was mandated 2010, and it's 2015. I'm wondering, are you shooting for the EAS date to have everything in place?
Yeah, definitely at the secondary level. Elementary was able to pilot this year. Last year I was in a totally different role. I was a curriculum director for elementary only, so we got the curriculum completed, and then this year we were rolling it out. It was a pilot year, and so now this summer we will be doing the final enhancements, and then we will be set with that. Secondary was a little delayed, and now in my new role, I started in October, and it's been my pleasure working with at the secondary level, both at the middle school and the high school, and I'm meeting with them twice a month to really focus on some of their educational issues, the curriculum, and moving things forward in that way. So it's been nice to work with them in terms of their professional development.
And the monthly PLCs allow the teachers to really take on that leadership role for designing curriculum, discussing assessments, again, providing continuity across either the department or the grade level. So equal opportunity for all.
And just to piggyback on what you were saying, because you brought up a number of different issues, and you brought up technology a couple of times now. Our professional development that we had in November, because of all the support that we've had from the board over the last year, and with Protected Harbor, we were able to do a full district-wide professional development in technology, offering smart boards and duck cams and just a variety of different things. We're very, very exciting that teachers could go back and directly use with their students. So it was very encouraging. So we're moving in the right direction. As for SBAC, we are using this year as a baseline. Yeah, it's scary for all of us. It's totally new. year, it was totally a pilot, it was a field test, and this year we will just use those scores as a base to build from. And I think everyone is kind of in the same boat in the state who is saying, yes, we are going to embrace the SASBAC and move forward.
And the piece too is that we have to, the assessments that were built within the literacy and numeracy units are also technology-based. And next year we've selected to go to NEWA with the elementary level, so that will continue to be technologically based.
Yeah, I think that was a concern of mine with the SBAC as far as I have a third grader and sitting in front of a computer, having to use the computer to manipulate. I have a copy of the test. I think it was a sample test from last year. And if they don't have the access to the computer on a regular basis and they're locked in front of a computer screen, I think that would cause as much anxiety as anything. So that would hurt the score as well.
If you got a chance to see, it's under section W, under the capital request for technology, we are asking for a number of carts, so we have a cart per grade level with I think it's 24 computers per cart. And at the high school, we're asking for 7 carts with 24 on a cart. And truly, we want to move toward every child having access to a computer all day long in every lesson, because that's what's really is going to make a difference. It's not just about the assessment piece, it's about the instruction, and it's about what you were talking about earlier in terms of the expectations. And it's not only in Common Core, it's in our children's everyday life. And it certainly is in what they need when they go out for a job or when they're going to college. What are they going to have to take with them? They're going to have to take a laptop. They're going to have to be able to access that technology and be able to stream media and be able to Skype and be able to do a Prezi or a PowerPoint or a million other things that we have to get them ready for starting in kindergarten when they're learning their keyboard skills. You're absolutely correct.
And if you go into a kindergarten class, there are, laptops and station computers in each room, and some children, if during the center, not even during the center time, the teacher's doing a small group and children are working, you'll see them, reading stories on a laptop, you'll see them doing mathematical problems or games, and, so it's there, they pick them up like they pick up a book to read, so that's a good thing. Let's see. The world languages, more choices than earlier. That was recommended by a board member through our school improvement committee, that we begin languages maybe in 2nd grade or 3rd grade. That would be a dream. That would be really something excellent. We are, though, looking to see how we can expand it at the high school, so children want 2 full years of a language rather than just a selection. And again, it comes into scheduling. But that is something, and it's just very difficult because there isn't enough time in the school day. If we could, add another section on, or maybe this is something that we look at for an extended day, since we have late buses. If children would really, there's other ways that maybe we can include it within the school day. And any suggestions you might have.
Well, I just think that suggesting that a high school student stay after school to do a foreign language just because it
I was talking to middle school.
Oh, well, even in middle school, trust me, I have a middle schooler, and having him voluntarily stay after school another day to take a Spanish lesson is not as effective as starting a program when they're young. And if you look at starting it when they're obviously going to pick it up a lot easier. It's easier for them to learn, and they're learning English too. I mean, you cannot learn a language if you're not proficient in your first language. You can't learn a foreign language. I have teachers that are friends that teach foreign language, and that's their biggest obstacle is to How are they going to translate in Spanish or Italian? And starting it earlier, where you can have an English teacher work with, say, a Spanish teacher, teaching vocabulary together, it's so much easier for kids to pick up. I had to buy the Rosetta Stone because I just wanted to give my kids some foundation, but like I said, that is them coming home and doing homework assigned by their mom. And it worked maybe for like a week, and then I was like, nope, sorry, not doing it anymore. And so I think of that when you say if they stay after school, they can take more of the language.
Well, I'd like to see it more as to coming to understand a different culture. I mean, it would be presented maybe differently than it would during the school day.
Yeah, it's true.
You know, almost like a club or something, you know, like a Lego club or a...
See, I want my son to be able to read and speak a foreign language. Understanding the culture is great, and I think they do. I mean, the history department does a great job of introducing that. I want him to read his foreign language and speak a foreign language, the same way that the ESL students are afforded to read English and speak English and then retain their language. They are graduating high school with dual languages, and so they have a leg up over our kids who do not have a foreign language until they get to high school. And it's really hard to pick up at 14 years old. I mean, that's a fact. That's just how their brain works. So.
Yeah, those little neurons are getting clipped. Okay, let's see. Cross-reference. Okay. The community school, well, reorganizing PD limited. I was taking notes while you were asking before, and because you said PD cross-reference and for administrators.
Yeah, you addressed that.
Because we do look at it holistically. The other thing is for leadership team, I mean leadership myself, so two principals, and we belong to, it's called SIP, but it's a superintendent's network. But I go by myself with a group of superintendents, and we go do walkthroughs through buildings, and you know they've been to Torrington and all this. So taking a look at the superintendent's role as an instructional leader, but then Sue goes with a team, and they go as principals and curriculum and instructional leaders. But to make sure that what we're doing, you know, what I set as goals, and you know where I would like to see the district go, there's a thread that goes, you know, to the assistant superintendent and other leadership members, to principals, and then teachers. And hopefully, you know, everybody's goals connect. You see a thread through. So that's critical, because if we're not all working on the same piece, we also have a group of principals who go to CIAC, because you can get, this is the Center for School Change, and then we have CIAC, and you really need to get both. And then we come together and share what we are involved in. Let's see, Title I and Title II grant, that's what I had next, so I'd like to just keep going so I don't miss anything. But with the Title I, what it's used for?
Who addressed that?
Okay, all right, because what it's used for with our literacy team support. Okay, tech not an option, and you mentioned different areas. Yep, community school. What this is that really engaging our all children, all families into what is being offered for families, for children, things that are changing within the school. How do we get parents to be part of their child's educational program? What are the obstacles from, you know, getting them in and getting them to participate on a regular basis, to reduce the fears? What do we need to have in place? How do we outreach? And what services do you need to offer so that families can come, actively participate, and yet maybe, you know, it's like childcare might be offered. The high school has really been working hard with getting parents in to learn about guidance, coursework,
you know, what's expected on each grade level for assessments, how do you plan, you know, for college, what funding is available, and, you know, it's really major outreach to parents. Many of the schools this year on the elementary level have done special parent nights for mathematics or literacy, and, you know, big things, but you can get them in, get them often, besides just the parent conference, reaching out to families through multiple medias, you know, to inform them of what's going on. And then we have our Family Resource Center here at Ogle, but we also have a Community Family Literacy Center, which this is all outreach for parents from children 3 to age 9. And it does multiple, you know, could go anywhere from a play group to a read aloud to an art project, guest speakers, dancers and movement, storytellers. It's really just to get parents engaged and to make their school a community school that is open to all members. And sometimes the schools go out to different places to provide information for parents in case they don't feel comfortable coming in. So they've done that too. Grants, are they still there? We absolutely, and we look for new grants on a daily basis. Last year, we were able to really boost our technology infrastructure through grants. Right now, we have 2 more out. One to deal with television studios, upgrade our television studios on a secondary level, and also to bring some television technology to our elementary schools. And we're also looking, we have another grant out for more computers, you know, the carts. Say grants for early childhood. Yes, we'll have a 4-year-old program for at least 4 classrooms next year, and there'll be year-round classrooms so that we can reach out to families, children who do not necessarily have quality early childhood program. We received 3 grants for our ELL population, and that's used to support tutors for the program, especially on the secondary level, because with when children who are learning English as a second language enter into regular classrooms, we need to send someone in to support if they can't translate everything. So that's a way of making sure that our Spanish or Arabic, or we have 37 different languages spoken in the district, is to make sure that these children have the kind of support they need to be able to understand the content, review the vocabulary, write when they, you know, and do the homework or complete labs. It's so that they can still have a rigorous coursework, even if it's not in their dominant language. Let's see. We have a grant this year for, it's the 2nd year in a row for creating safe schools, which has allowed us to put more cameras in our schools, a whole system for entering the school. Hopefully, I can't even think right now. Anybody want to help me out with the safety? It was written last year and we got it this fall. And we're implementing it. David, want to add to it what we're going to do with our school safety and security grant?
We're adding an S2 system to all schools, which will give us the opportunity in case of a lockdown or similar emergency procedure that we can electronically control the door devices. So presently our door devices are on a pad system, electronic system. We'll be able to shut those doors down electronically and not allow anyone to enter the building at all during a lockdown situation. And it also gives us the opportunity to control who has passes to get into the school, for instance, teachers or anyone that may have a passcode to enter the school, we can eliminate them or add someone at any time now. We'll be in complete control of that. So that's all part of the system, plus new cameras at Torrington Middle School with new recorders and IP cameras that'll give us a little bit better clarity on what we're looking at and the picture itself and whatnot. So that's all part of the security grant that we applied for this year.
I just back for a minute with the school readiness, our federal pre-K grant, and with our Even Start grant. The Even Start is dual generation, but all three of those grants have similar components, which allows families to, well, with the school readiness, it allows children to have early childhood programs, and we work with our 10 early childhood centers within the city, and that allows them to take extra children into the program. The Even Start program allows while their parents are either working on their GED or learning English as a second language for their child to either be in a quality preschool environment or with a quality child care center. And it also, all of these include a home visit component. So we work with parents with literacy and also parenting. Just share with me. Okay, I've got up in like 2 minutes. Oh, okay. Well, let's see. But that's, most of the grants that you see written there, we still have, and we actively reapply every year. And there's more to come. I think we have over about $2 million worth of grants out there right now. So, let's see. Okay, with that. Okay, I think that's it.